Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some Pokemon Scarlet. There are a couple things that I had forgotten to do. Oh, he's sleepy. Before I ended the last one that I didn't realize that I needed to do. First one is to go and talk into Perrin, because we caught Gouging Fire and Raging Bolt and we didn't report back to Perrin. At least I don't remember reporting back to Perrin, so. What? That Pokemon, isn't that Pokemon from the picture? It's a real-life Gouging Fire, just look at the shape of its head. There are rumors that say this fellow can make magma erupt from the ground just by roaring. Haha. If that were true, then this thing would be real fearsome to face. Now let me just snap a couple of photos here. That's of me. This could mean the other Pokemon I showed you is real too. Report back to me if you find it, okay? That's the Pokemon. A real Raging Bolt. That neck is... Boy, that neck. It's almost too much to fit in one frame. Rumor has it that this fellow can cover the whole sky with dark clouds and bring lightning crashing down just by swinging that long neck around. I don't want to imagine that. If that were true, then this thing would be a real fearsome threat to face. Let me just take a couple snaps. Let me... It's the same sentence as before, why can't I read this? Now let me just snap a couple photos. It's a couple of photos here. That's the best you're gonna get. Once again, that's just a picture of me holding a Pokeball. Or Electric Ball. Wow, you actually went and found the boat. Can't even be surprised. That's just like you. Between you and me, I was having a hard time focusing on my work. I couldn't keep my mind off of those photos. You saved me. Aww. I know I didn't promise any reward or anything, but I've got to thank you for putting the mystery to rest. Here you go. This prize is a real catch. A sport ball. Okay. Put the sport ball in the Pokeball. Okay. Woo. A special Pokeball that is used during the bug catching contest in the Johto region. Why do I have this then? Am I going to the Johto region? It's wild how much mystery is left in the world, isn't it? When you're a kid, you can just run wholeheartedly wherever you want, but it's not so easy when you get older. You keep running. Find unknown Pokemon, have grand adventures. Do it for me. And now I think I'd better get back to work. Yeah, so I put just these three in my party. Just for this episode, because it's going to be a rather short one. I will get to the legendary collection stuff through Snackworth at a later time. I'll finish the Pokedex, probably not on stream, at a later time. Basically, two things I wanted to get done today, which is why it's a pre-recorded video. Next thing we gotta do is Kitakami Crystal Pool. Apparently Carmen teased this. I just had you out. Terra Lumi. Oh. Well now. This is a curious development. Have I somehow broken through the boundaries of space-time? And who are you? Professor Seda? Question mark? Professor? Have we met? If so, I'm sorry, but I don't seem to recall it. I'm Professor Seda. I research Pokemon in Area Zero, and yet... What? This Pokemon, is this the Winged King? Well, no, it was... I mean, that sounds like a Paradox Pokemon name for this particular one, but... Yeah, we're gonna go, we call it Koraidon. Is that right? So its name is Koraidon. That's a good name. From the clues you've already let slip, I suppose I would have to conclude, from my perspective, I must come from the past. Though, of course, the complexity of space-time are beyond count. It's possible that our encounter might not even be occurring in a timeline connected to my own. Good way to write off a time paradox, but, you know, this whole generation has had a focus on paradoxes, so, you know. Perhaps this meeting is nothing more than a fleeting miracle. Why don't we exchange as much useful data as we can in what little time that fate has gifted us? Is there anything you would like to ask me? First, ask about family. Oh, you even wish to know about my private life? I mean, kind of stuck with your boy. I do have a family, a son. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. He's probably at home right now. Well, no, I suppose right now could be inaccurate. Whenever and wherever that he is, I imagine he must be quite lonely. So you recognize your child abandonment. Is there anything else you wish to ask me? Wow. What are you studying right now? I'm researching methods to catch Pokemon that live in different timelines. So different timelines. Okay, so mini theory here. A mini game theory. The Paradox Pokemon. They're from different futures and different pasts, which might explain the legendary variants, like the two that I currently have with me now. They might be the Raikou and the Entei of a different timeline altogether, so that's why they can exist alongside our Raikou and Entei in our timeline. They're the same Pokemon, but they're from different timelines. One is like a prehistoric kind of thing. So they're not ancestors or anything like that. They're from a prehistoric timeline that, I don't know. There's probably a whole lot of holes in that theory, but it just, yeah. And the same thing goes for the future Paradox ones. Like, yeah, that could still happen in our timeline, but like it's from a different timeline. So that way, technically, there's only one in our timeline that's supposed to be in our timeline, and we somehow brought the other one in. So now there's more than one, kinda, but it's not, you know, ruining the fact that there's only one. It's supposed to be one of a legendary. But yeah, even that's not really consistent with the Pokemon lore anyway. So yeah, definitions of legendaries are very fluid at this moment because, used to be legendaries couldn't evolve, and then we got like Cosmog and stuff like that, and the same thing would go with mythical Pokemon. They couldn't evolve, but we got Meltan evolving into Melmetal. So yeah, there was rules, and then Pokemon has slowly but surely broken most of, if not all of them. So anyways, different timelines, so I might transport them to present day in my own timeline. That sounds fantastical, no doubt, but I'm drafting plans now for a machine that may achieve it. You see, this book captured my imagination when I read it as a child, and has never let go. But progress has been slowed and beset by failures. I haven't left my lab in quite some time now. I do desperately hope that I might glean some new insight from this conversation so I can finally make some progress and return home. Is there anything else you wish to ask me? Why are you here? I don't precisely know what caused the cause. I was analyzing some recent data in my secret lab one moment, and then the next I was standing here before you. Perhaps this is the influence of the crystal Pokemon that lies dormant in that place, or perhaps the cause lies with you and I. I mean, probably a little bit of both, because I kind of, have said Pokemon you're looking for in my possession, but, Now, let us trade places in this exchange. I'd say its time has come for my own questions. What is this place? It doesn't appear to be anywhere in Paldea. Let's be a little more accurate. So we're at Kitakami's crystal pool, eh? Okay, so she knows where the crystal pool is, so being specific was appropriate. I remember reading about it in certain texts. It's said to be a place where water wells up from the ground imbued with terrestrial energy. It would seem that I have been shifted quite far in both space and time. My next question, then. That Pokemon you have, the Winged King, Koraidon. Tell me more about it. I found it collapsed on a beach. Did you really? Then I wonder whence it came and how it happened to arrive at that beach. I mean, the opening of the game showed him floating through the air before he crashed, but I technically can't know that. I know it, but my character doesn't. Though it appears you don't know much about the creature's exact origins yourself. That book you have, I don't recognize its cover. What is it? The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero? Would you let me see it for just a moment? Sure, let's just break the space-time continuum even more. Descriptions of the Area Zero underdepths and a record of Terapagos' awakening. Yeah, I was there. Who is this Briar to have written such a work? I feel like this is more pertinent. She's a descendant of Heath. Now isn't that something? A descendant of the author of the original Scarlet book. Exploration runs in the family, I see. In any rate, this is a book that would ignite the imagination of any true scientist. Sorry, but I simply must have the time to read this book more thoroughly. I don't think you have that much time. Oh, this mist is closing in once again. I assume this means our time is near its end. Oh, don't be sad, Koraidon. I wish I could spend longer getting to know the Winged King, but I must hurry. That book, I imagine, must be quite valuable. It wouldn't feel right for me to claim it without offering you any recompense. In exchange, then, though I hate to part with something so precious to me, would you consider trading me that book for my copy of the Scarlet book? I mean, the one in this time got ruined, and this Briar literally just published this book, so I probably could get a new one where you can't. So yeah, I feel like that would be a trade. I persist more than you can imagine. For the second time in this game, I have obtained the Scarlet Book. Perhaps I should take this chance to go home and enjoy a bit of downtime with a good book. How ironic. This is where we part, fellow adventurer and winged king. How lucky we were to meet across space and time. I bid you adieu. And we got the Scarlet Book back on the thing. How neat. I mean, you probably can't actually obtain a new version of Briar's book, but theoretically, it's not like my copy might have been like the first edition or whatever, but it wasn't the only one. Whereas the Scarlet Book seems to be there's only one, so retrieving that from the past. Although it might have messed stuff up. Hopefully that is a Seda from a different timeline, so I'm not screwing up my own past and causing the Scarlet Book to technically cease to exist, because then... No, it wouldn't cease to exist, because, like, it came from the past to now. So that's a legitimate route to me, but then Briar's book already existed before she wrote it, so... I think I might have screwed up their timeline, which if it's the same timeline as ours, then that's screwing up our timeline. But I'm hoping that's not the case. That way we haven't screwed up the space-time continuum. The other timeline, if it's a separate timeline, then like it's out of my hands and I don't suffer any repercussions. So I know that sounds kind of bad, but that's just kind of how it goes. It sure did give me a beating in that Academy Ace tournament. Oh, so this is not even close to being relevant. Seems like all my closest buddies are in another league, you know? I mean, look at you. You just became a champion in the first year, and to boot. You know what's pretty amazing, right? Then there's Nimona, top marks in every class at school, and she's champion rank 2. And I hear Penny's got some kind of offer to work for the Pokemon League or something. I seem to be the only one around here with nothing special about me. Mom's perfect. Sure don't give a guy a break, huh? Well, the only special thing about me is who my mom was. Not like I had anything to do with it. Wait, my mom? See, now that Bostif is doing much better, and since the treasure hunt is still going on and all, I've been thinking of a new goal to find myself. And I guess you've really got to start by knowing where you come from, which means I should learn more about my mom, right? She was a student at this school once too, that's what I heard. I'm gonna search the whole school for info about what kind of person she really was. Thanks for the inspiration. So I couldn't really give the book to him, but I at least encouraged him. I guess that'll just have to do for now. It's the Scarlet Book, the mysterious red tome. Do you want to read it? Okay, so there's still a Scarlet Book here. So then why did I trade my Briar book? I don't know. The disc Pokemon. Also known as Terapagos, so... Got that. So, if I go into my bag, I go in the key items, I go this. I hardly see the title play. Why? Maybe if I go to the lab, I'm genuinely curious about certain things. Oh, so Terapagos was on there. Okay. Mysterious device. Better not touch it. Well, that just makes me want to touch it more. Here's a picture. There are pictures, books for kids. One of them tells a story about making a big sandwich. Cool. It's a microwave. It looks like it hasn't been used in a long while. I imagine so. Okay. Well, I think that's gonna do it then. So, there will be more Pokemon Scarlet content in the future. I still gotta round up the other legendaries that are now available across the Paldean map. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you're new and haven't done so already, subscribe. Make sure to check out channel membership for $1 a month. You get pre-recorded, uploaded content early, and you get a shout out. Our social media and Twitch links in the description below. Make sure to check those out as well. And with all that said, I will see you guys in the next one.